Hey everyone, it's Carl Holson here. Hope I didn't keep you waiting. No, I knew I did, so I'm glad you're here. And I'm joined here with Joanne Brownlee and Stephen Hurst, and we are here to go over branding today. Okay, we're going to cover a few things. We're going to cover branding of your social media, so that would be like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to use Facebook today as an example in the profile because pretty much all the profiles are the same in every different social media you go to. So we'll focus on Facebook today because that's what we're primarily using as our marketing because of our IBK poster. But we're going to cover that. I'm actually going to go through. I'm going to show you how to make a branded picture to use as well. So we'll go over. We're going to cover a whole bunch of different stuff today, just so you get kind of the hang of things and know what you need to do and how you need to have yourself presented on social media. So the first thing you're going to have to do on social media and anywhere that you're branding is actually go and take a real picture of yourself, because if you start using cartoon characters or pictures of cats or something like that, you're going to get people not taking you serious. I personally won't do any business with anybody who doesn't have their real picture up. If you're using a cartoon character or a picture of your cat or a logo or something like that, I'm not doing business with you, okay? Because I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know who you are. I want to know who you are. Okay, and that's just simple. That's just how I do business, and I do very well in business. Okay, it's that simple. And if you're not making any sales online, well then maybe it's time you changed the way that you are presenting yourself to people. Because here's one thing that I want to let everyone know. If you're going out right now, let's say you're unemployed and you're trying to find a job out there. Okay, now I don't know if any of you guys know this out there. You're trying to find a job. You know what the first thing that your new employer does with you? When you get the resume, you hand your resume in, they take 24 hours to go through your resume to see who you are. Then they go to social media. They check your Facebook, they check Twitter, they check Pinterest, they check LinkedIn, they check all social media to see what kind of stuff you post on social media. And if you're posting raunchy crap, or political garbage or stuff like that, that's one of the things that they are going to take as a minus. And if you never get a call back, you can blame your social media for that. Okay? Now, a lot of people go, oh, they don't do that. Well, they do. Okay? As a matter of fact, my wife just got a job here about 8 months ago, and that was the very first thing that her employer did. Went through to see what kind of person she was by what she posted on social media. Okay? So if any of you out there are having difficulty getting a job, you might want to go and look at your social media sites, your profiles, and maybe fix them up a bit. Okay? Start deleting all the raunchy crap you might have on there, because that's a dead negative against. With me, when I'm going in to do business online, I'm a serious entrepreneur. I make very good money online, and I can teach anybody to do it. But if you're presenting yourself in the wrong manner online, there's nothing that I can do to help you if you don't clean up the way that you're presented. Okay? Does that make sense, panelists? Everybody agree with that? You guys want to, give your feedback on that? Stephen?
No, very much so. You need to be the person that you need to be, and you need to show people that that's how you are.
Well, that's just it. I mean, no one wants to work with or hire anyone who is, I don't know, that bashes things online, that presents themselves as I don't want to stereotype anybody, okay? I don't want to stereotype anybody, but if you're sitting there showing yourself partying and getting drunk all the time, or you're sitting there toking up or something like that, or you're encouraging I don't know, bullying or anything like that. I mean, I see this stuff all over social media. It's all over there. Even giving your own political what's the word I'm looking for? Your own political feelings. Help me out, guys. What's the word I'm looking for?
Opinion?
Opinion. Thank you very much. Your own political opinion or even religious opinions. online, you may offend other people that way. That's why with me, anybody who brings religion or politics to my business, that's pretty much a game killer for me with anybody. I don't get involved with anybody who uses political views or religious views. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying I keep that out of my business. It creates bad karma in business, okay? Because everybody's going to have a different view. You could be a socialist, you could be a Republican or a Democrat or something, and we all know how everybody hates each other there, right? So the moment you say, I'm a Democrat, oh, I'm a socialist, or I'm a Republican, you know, the fight starts happening, right? So the best thing that you can do is keep everything of your own opinions outside of your business content, okay? You know, it's okay to share family photos if you want, or photos of, you know, family vacations or something like that. But I'm telling you right now, because as a marketer and an entrepreneur and a leader, I look for that. So when you contact me and you want to go and do business with me, the first thing that I do is I go through your profiles. And I see what kind of individual I'm going to have to work with. And if I find that you're going to have any kind of negative impact on my business, I don't care how good of a marketer you are, I'm not working with you. I'm not bringing that stuff into my business. Okay? I've done that before. It's disastrous. Okay? So, you know, you're either going to like what I have to say or you're not going to like it. And you know what? Quite frankly, I don't care. Okay? Because regardless, I'm still going to go on and continue to make money, and you may not. Okay? Regardless of what my opinion is and how I do business, I still go and make money every single day. Okay? And I can teach people to make money every single day. What they decide to do, whether they do what I do or whether they don't, that's totally up to them. But I will tell you that when you start allowing different negative things, and I'm sorry, religion and politics can be a very negative to your business because you are going to interfere with the feelings and thoughts of others that may be 100% opposite you. Does that make any sense, panelists?
That's very true. Very true. I've seen it.
Well, you know, look, we could go, the three of us could go and sit down and have a lunch together. And you know, your views on politics, Stephen, might be way different than mine. And the same thing with Joanne. And I bring something up, and now all of a sudden, we've gone from a discussion to an argument about who's better than which. Look, you know, the biggest bullying I ever see online is politics. You know, right now in Canada here, we have a political race going on. You guys have it down in the States too, but ours is going to come quicker than yours, okay? And, you know, they want to re-elect a new prime minister up here. And, you know, everybody talks about bullying. You know, you should never bully people, right? But yet they go on here and you listen to every politician. Oh, that guy, he's a piece of crap because he does this kind of stuff. You never want to deal with this guy here because he does this, this, and this. He's going to make you poor. He's going to rip your heart out, right? That's the kind of stuff these politicians do. And that's not bullying. That's not telling people that if you're a conservative and you're not a liberal or you're not a, you know, Green Party or whatever, you're not a person. You know, that's bullying. I don't care what anybody says. And you know what? It's all over the TV. And who watches TV the most? Can anybody tell me? Who watches TV the most out of the general population on Earth? Children.
Children?
Children watch TV more. So what are we doing? We're encouraging them to act like those kids, those grown-ups that are in a playground doing that kind of stuff. Okay? Now, that's my political example, okay, that I just brought to the table. You see how bad that is? You see? I could have just ruffled so many feathers right now just because I brought up that little tiny subject right there. You see what I mean? So now, if I went back and I go and I show you, like I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show you my Facebook page, okay, my Facebook profile, and hopefully it's going to be good and not crappy, and you know everybody start laughing at me or whatever, right? But let's go and look at you know, how I have things set up here. Let me just minimize this stuff here. Okay, so first of all, I have a background up here. This is real important that you've got a background on your profile. Okay, now I'm going to use an example here. Maybe this person will get mad at me for using it. I don't know. Maybe it's a brand new account. I have no idea. But this is what you don't want it to look like. You don't want this up here. Okay. Now, this lady here, I'm assuming, is probably brand new, and she's just starting to put her thing together. You need to have this. This is the first thing. This needs to be populated, and it needs to be populated with something that's going to be either a calming thing or something to do with business. Maybe some kind of an encouraging saying or something on there. Like, if you look at mine, you know, I've got, don't settle for ordinary, be extraordinary. Okay? You know, I'm trying to give people some reason to be better than what they already are. Okay? So that's the one thing you want to do. Okay? Then you want to make sure that when you go into your profile, okay, you know, you've got all the, actually I got to go update info. You go into your profile and you have this filled in. You have the different things. Like I have a blog, you know, I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, and then I've got, you know, my, when I go into here, people will see everything that's related to me in here, you know, with my friends and stuff, okay? Then, you know, I have my work and education that's in here, okay? All my skill sets and stuff, you know, where I went to school, that kind of stuff. You can put that stuff in. I would recommend that you have something in there, okay? You got places you live, basic contact info. You know, it's got all my sites on here, all that kind of stuff, you know? You've got family and relationships, okay? It's got all my family and friends and that are on here, okay? Details about me. You know, I'm a professional online affiliate marketer with over 25 years marketing experience. Avid online gamer. I tell the games that I play. I'm a grandfather, father, and partner of my life is Rena, okay? We enjoy the outdoors and live life to the fullest, okay? Make sure you've got something there, okay? Don't sit, well, I'm not going to tell you what to say. I think you get the idea here, okay? It's not my business to tell you what to say. But I'm just trying to give you an idea of, you know, what you need to do, okay? Now, posting on your own timeline, you know, I post business on mine. You know, sometimes I'll share other things on here. You know, some things that people have on here, I'll share different timeline photos and stuff like that, okay? And Farmville stuff, obviously, okay? You know, I do play games. I already told you I'm a gamer. And people go, oh, he plays Farmville? Yeah, I play Farmville when I feel like it, okay? I play lots of games, okay? I'm not going to hide the fact that I do stuff like that. That's why I can do it. You know, I make enough money that I can sit back and I can do whatever the heck I want. It doesn't matter, okay? So now you want to make sure you have a real picture of yourself here, okay? You got a real picture. Don't have a picture of a cat. Don't have a picture of a logo. Don't have a cartoon character, okay? Because I go through, I get 50 to 100 friend requests a day, and almost half of them are people that either don't have their profile filled out here, okay, or they're looking for love in all the wrong places, okay, or they just don't have any info whatsoever, or they've got even crap info. They've got stuff about them just partying and stuff, you know. And the other thing that I look for on a profile, okay, I'm going to go down on the timeline, and I'm going to look, I'm going to scroll all the way down, and I'm going to see what they're a member of, what groups they're members of. You know, are they members, you know, does it all have to do with marketing? Okay, then I'm going to look at this part of their timeline to see if they're actually doing any kind of marketing on here. Okay, so those are the things that you want to look at when you're connecting with people online. Okay, you got to make sure your timeline is attractive enough that they're going to want to become friends with you. If you're going to ask somebody to be your friend, okay, make sure that they know that you're strictly business. If you're not, then that's totally up to you what you want to do. But whatever you're on Facebook for, if it's business, then be business. If it's social, then be social. If it's social and business, make sure they know that. Okay? I personally have room for only 5,000 friends on Facebook, and they're all going to be business oriented. I tell people that. This is my business site. Facebook I use for business. I have my family and stuff on here, but my family knows already to not follow me on Facebook so they don't get any of my posts on their timelines. We're still connected. We can still text with each other and stuff like that, but they don't get any of my business stuff. Okay? And I suggest, you know, if you're doing that, do whatever you want with your Facebook page, but just understand that when someone like myself comes looking across and I see nothing to do with business on here, I'm not going to be saying accept. I'm going to decline the request. Okay? But that's me. I use Facebook for business. Now, any of you panelists want to chime in on this?
No, you covered it good.
Joanne?
Yeah, you went through it pretty thorough, and well, in your timeline, there's some people will tag you, you can turn that off in the notifications.
Yeah.
And also, too, I've had people post their business stuff on my wall, and I just delete it.
Yeah, you can do
Simple
that.
as
You know, I watch to see what it is. A lot of times I'll watch to see what people post. Like if I go to my timeline, okay, and I see stuff coming across here, you know, most stuff I allow on my timeline, okay? It all depends on if the actual post is like bad or something. You know, then I immediately remove it, and I actually block the person after that so they can no longer ever post on my timeline. Okay, and in a lot of cases I unfriend them and block them. Okay, but you know there's a lot of stuff. You know you're gonna get this kind of stuff coming across here. You know if you want it on here, keep it on here. If you don't want it on here, don't. You know there is a lot of political stuff like the Trump thing that's going on. You know I'm interested in watching this because Trump is a businessman. Okay, and that's the only reason why I watch this stuff here. Because I actually follow Donald Trump business-wise, because I think he's a brilliant businessman.
Yes.
Okay? And you know, I don't know what he's going to do for the USA if he ever becomes president. I think he'll probably do a lot of good things. You know, I don't know what will happen. I'm not going to get into the politics. I'm just following it because he's a businessman, and I like to see what he has to say. Okay, and that's why I allow this on here. This is the only business stuff I ever get on here. The rest of it, I dump off, okay? And you know, if I get nonsense stuff, if somebody starts posting multiple times and it goes on my timeline, then I just unfollow them, and then they don't get stuff on my timeline anymore. You don't have to delete them or anything; you just unfollow, right? And then you don't get their stuff anymore. But a lot of times I'll get stuff like, you know, people share these kind of inspirational things, right? So I allow those on there because I believe in inspiration in everything that comes across there. So it all depends on what you want to allow in your timeline, okay? And again, you got to be careful too, because certain things coming across your timeline, if someone like a boss or a future boss is going to look at it, even your current boss may be watching your timelines. So be leery of that, because they are watching. When I was working for this corporation, we all were on Facebook. This is way back in the late 90s and stuff like that. It was before I went full time in the industry, and we were on Facebook. And it wasn't late 90s, early 2000. When did Facebook come? 2005? 2005, I think. That's when Facebook came. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
About 10 years ago, right? Early 2000. But there were other social medias before that. MySpace, that's when I was thinking of. MySpace, right? And my employer watched us on MySpace because that was the biggest social network before Facebook, okay? And then when we got to Facebook, obviously I wasn't working then because I went full time in 2003. But you know, Rena was working, and you know my kids were working, and actually my son got laid off. I think it was my son or my daughter. I can't remember which one. They were looking at the Facebook page and didn't like what they saw in there and laid them off because of that. Right? So it can happen at any time. Your boss could be watching your Facebook right now. You know. Maybe you're on lunch texting on there and they're sitting on their phone someplace watching what you're doing. I don't know. It all depends on what your bosses are like. But the point I'm making, folks, is that, you know, people will take you more serious if you have a serious presence. You know, when I go to my LinkedIn, okay, this is my LinkedIn, here's my profile here. Okay, I got my profile on LinkedIn. See, I've got my 90-day action plan. People know that's my header. Okay, I don't have a party background. I don't have other stuff. I won't even get into that. I see on some people's sites. Okay, and I keep my stuff up to date. Okay, keeping your description up to date and everything is very, very important because people look at that. Okay. So I just want to make sure that everybody has a good understanding how important it is to do this, because when you start branding yourself, that's when everybody's going to start to follow you. If you notice, everything that I do on my Facebook, okay, I have a header. I have a branded header. Everybody knows it's me, okay? I don't brand myself to the company. I brand the company to me, okay? I want people to think of me as the face of the company, so to speak. Okay? When they think of that company, they think of me. Does that make sense? Look,
Yes.
both Joanne, both you and Stephen, both you guys are now using headers. Have you noticed an increase of, let's call it popularity, since you started branding yourself like that versus the way you were doing it before?
I notice for myself, I tend to get more friends and followers when I use the branded stuff, and than when I didn't use it before.
Exactly. You know, before I started branding myself, you know, and this has just been recently where I've gone to full brand on myself here in about the last 4 or 5 months, maybe 5 or 6 months. Before that, I would average about 5 to 10 friends a month that would add me on Facebook. Since I started branding myself, I am now averaging between 50 and 100 a day. Okay, big difference. You know, when I first started, my friends list was somewhere around 200, and now I'm at 2,480. Okay, and by tomorrow I'll be 2,500 or 2,600 probably. Okay, depending on who the people are, because I don't accept everybody now. I'm being very, very picky because, again, you're getting all kinds of people that want to friend you that are, I don't know. It seems like it's lava life nowadays, but you know, more than Facebook. I mean, you got to remember, Facebook is a social network. It is a true social network. It was built to be a social network, not a business network. LinkedIn, that's your business network. This here is where you want to be doing business. Okay, everybody on here are business professionals. Okay, here you get everybody from business professionals to kids, okay, that are on here. So it's more social than it is business on Facebook for the most part. You know, let's put it this way. There's about 300 million marketers that are on Facebook, and Facebook has like 1.2 or 1.3 billion users. Okay, so on Facebook we're about a quarter of the population. Okay, the rest of them are socialites. Make sense? Okay. Next thing I want to share with you guys is, oops, that's not what I want to do. Next thing I want to share with you guys is I'm going to show you how to create a template. Now, I've got some videos on this. Maybe you haven't seen this before, so I'm going to go over this, and I'm going to show you how to create, with Paint, how to create a quick branded picture, okay? So let me just bring this up. Okay, you see my my Paint here, right?
Yes.
Right.
Not anymore. I minimized it by accident. Sorry. Oh crap. Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I have a generic template that I use. Okay. So let's just do. We're going to do one that I help you know, my downline with. Okay. So I have a generic header that I use here. Okay. Standard header. You know, you've got this, Stephen. Okay. Joanne made her own. Okay. Now, if I wanted to make my own header on here, you know, I would go in and I'll go and find one of my pictures, which is right here. Then I would just shrink that, you know, to fit in here, and I just embed it in there just like that, okay? And then if I wanted to put something up here, I could do two different things. I could do text, okay, or I could go in and write some text, and I'd probably have to use, like, I don't know, an orange, or I don't know what color would go back on there. We'll find out in a second. Let's just say, I'll just use my tagline here. Live life on your terms. Okay? And let's just drag that up here and see if that color looks okay. No. So we got to find a different color that'd be a little bit darker. Too light, too light. I don't know. You have to play around with it, I guess, to find the right color.
Or we'll use black.
We'll just use black for now, okay? So, you know, you can make these as big as you want, you know, however you want to do it. You know, live life on your own terms, whatever you can, whatever your tagline wants to be. So it would be like that, and there would be your header that you would use, okay? And then, you know, if you're going to use pictures, now we're going to use IBK as an example because that's pretty much what this is all about. Although I do share this with my travel people as well, but we'll use IBK for the sake of pictures. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here and just grab some pictures at random here. Let's do this one here. Okay, your IBK journey starts here, and we could have let's do this. Oh, that's a nice big one. Let's shrink that down a bit. Oh yeah, that's like very cool, isn't it? We shrunk it all up. Okay, so let's say we've got IBK business kits there, and you know what? I'd even do a proof pick of some kind. So I'll go into my proof picks, and I'll grab. Oops, I better not grab one of those because then you're going to see all the info. Here, I'm going to just do something here. I'm going to stretch this out, and I'm going to copy over, paste from. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to grab, as an example, like I grab something like this and I put a proof pick, right? Throw a proof pick in here, and then maybe I don't know. Let's grab this, okay? I don't know, something like this. You know, we're just playing around here for the moment, okay? So, and then I just grab this back, go down here like this. This is how simple I make stuff. There, see? Now we've got a picture, and we can save this picture any way we want to do it. Okay, it's very simple to make them. You know, you just find a header, you fit it in like this here. You know, put whatever text on here. You can go and make stuff like this. This is made at like this right here. This right here. This is all done at a site called CoolText. CoolText.com. And that's where I go and I make these little things here. You can use all kinds of different fonts and different kinds of backgrounds and stuff. I'll actually, you know what I'll do? I'll share the site right now here. So these are just some of the places that I use. Okay, so we've got that. Go back and share this so you guys can see the site. Okay, so this is the thing, CoolText.com. See here, CoolText.com. Okay, and you can go through and you can select any one of these. You know, the one I always use is Outline. That's this one here, and then you can go and you can select whatever font you want. I use Kirsty. You know, that's what that one was that you just saw there. Right here, that's Kirsty. Okay, so I use Kirsty. See, it's a nice outline that you have there, and you can type anything, right? You know, live life on your terms. Oops.
And Carl, that site is it free to use or is it
Yeah, it's
paid?
free.
Or?
It's a free site. Yeah. It's a free site to use. Okay, and put that there. And you can make this any size. It comes text size at 70. I always go down to about 55. That's what the size of the text is that you saw. You just go create logo, and then I have a special little tool that I use to grab this here that I offer to my team. It's called Screenshot It. Some of you may have it, some of you might not. But what I do is I browse and I go and I find the folder I want to throw it into. So I'm just going to throw it into that folder I showed you. That IBK folder. Yes, it's very, very deep. Okay. So I would go in, I'd capture this, boom, like this. Just do a little around it like that. Now I'll go back to Paint. And you guys can't see this because I have to go and share my screen again. Okay, so you just see me share it there. So now I go back to Paint. Okay, and now I've got this up here. So now, let's say I want to add that one in. So what I'll do is I'll just, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it right on top of this one here. So I'll go paste from, and there it is there. Okay, live life on your terms. Okay, I made it too big. Okay, but crap. Anyways, you guys get the gist of it. We can shrink it down a little bit to fit in there. See, and I can just do that, and boom, it's done. Right. So you can also make them transparent as well. Okay, but I'm not going to go into all the transparencies and stuff. But there's all kinds of stuff that you can do to play around. I'm not a graphics guy. I mean, some people could, you could go on to Fiverr for $5 and have somebody make you one of these headers for $5, and they'll use like Photoshop or Dreamweaver or whatever and do that. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff, so that's where I got mine. Actually, mine was made, a friend of mine who has Photoshop made my header, which is this header right here, right? That header there. See, they made me this header. And that's what I would have on mine. So you can get stuff like this made for $5 on Fiverr. There's tons of people on there that'll do that for you. And you know what? Again, it's probably worth it to you to do that because then you have it nice and professionally done. I've just made some things like I made for Steven and stuff like that. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff, so I just kind of put it together just like I showed you, right? And then you just create the pictures that you want. So I don't know, was that helpful, you guys? Did I go too fast, or? Can't hear you. Unmute.
I was muted. Yes, that helped very much.
Okay, so, and again, this is recorded, so anybody can go over and they can see what I did with this thing here, going to cooltext.com and creating all that kind of stuff. And it all depends on, what you guys want and that, or you can do it the easy way and spend $5 and go on Fiverr and have someone make it for you.
Plus, you also have some of that in the back office too, right?
What stuff?
How to build
training?
it.
The training? Oh yeah, that's all in my training in the back office of IBK. Yeah.
Right.
So now there's something I'm going to mention on here. I know there's lots of people who are not part of my team on here, but you two just happen to be part of my team on here, and you know the fact that I have brokered some really, really good SEO traffic. Social media traffic. This is something that, unfortunately, if you're in IBK and you're not in my team, you don't have access to this. But I do need to mention it out to those that are on my team that are listening and haven't heard this yet, that this traffic that I have brokered is available to you for as little as $5. Okay? This is stuff I brokered the special deal with this guy, and he gives us great traffic. I think all of you guys on here have already ordered it. That's the traffic I use that I actually pay for when people come in and join me in business. Now, there's also the other option, okay? I'm going to bring this up. It is my Hangout, so I am going to bring this up, and hopefully I don't piss anybody off. But I am in another program called the Travel Party. You guys already know about this, okay, that I'm in there. And, anybody who actually joins our team in that gets access to that. I'm never going to ask somebody to rejoin us in IBK. You don't do that. You are where you are, and you use that. and you never go and join somebody else in another program when you're already in it. Okay? I need to make that very, very clear. You get a lot of my resources already from my training site. You just won't ever get that one. That one is specifically and exclusive to my team. Okay? So this is not a recruiting thing. I'm just letting everybody know that that's the only way that you can have access to this traffic that we have. And we give this out, and Joanne can do it, and Stephen can do it. Anybody can give that traffic out to anybody or use that traffic to pay for somebody as an incentive, that sort of thing. And I wanted to talk about this because incentives are big, okay? I have to tell you, and you know, I'm being dead honest with this here. I'm a very, very aggressive marketer, okay? And you see me all over social media. And I have people that have come to me. As in fact, a guy just joined me in IBK the other day that looked at 5 other people's sites out there and didn't join with them because he liked the incentives and everything that I offered. You see, here's the difference. And this is why you really want to figure out some kind of incentive to offer out there. See, Joanne and Stephen, because I sponsored them or I referred them to IBK, they actually have access to everything that I offer. So whatever I'm offering people, they can do the same thing. Okay? You know, even with the people in IBK that are listening to this, in my traffic site, you see that everybody gets that training under the traffic. So you can actually offer that to people out there. You just can't offer the traffic that we offer. That's the only thing you can't do. And that is a big incentive. I hate to say it, but it is huge. So you want to look for something that's just as valuable that you can give people. Because the biggest thing that people have an issue with today, okay, there's a couple of things actually. One is a sponsor that's actually going to stick around in the program. So make sure that you are doing your IBK posting and all that regularly, every single day. You don't forget to do it. Okay? If you're not an IBK, okay, then you've got to do it the manual way, but don't stop doing it. Be consistent every day. Because if you don't, the ones that are going to get your sales. Okay? I warn everybody about that. You know? I warn everybody in IBK. I love competition. But the moment you guys stop promoting, I'm not, and I'm going to clean up everything that you miss. Okay? I'm telling you, I'm a machine, and I will go out there and I will do it. I've warned Joanne, I've warned Stephen, I've warned everybody on my team that if you don't go out and do it, don't get mad if you don't get sales and I get them. Because I won't stop just because you did. Okay? So when you're listening to this, make sure that you're doing this every day. Follow it. Be consistent. Because I can guarantee you this, people are watching you. They're watching to see how consistent you are in your business. If you're posting once a week or once every couple of weeks, they're going to see that you're not as focused on your business, or maybe you don't even have interest in it. And the last thing they want to do is get involved with you and then join you and then find out they can never ever find you again. Okay? Be there for your people. You are a boss, so to speak, at this point. It's your responsibility. When you refer somebody to a business, you have to have some responsibility. Okay? It's not all the company. Okay? You are referring somebody to the business, so you have an obligation to at least ensure that those people get educated on what they need to do. Once that's done, there's nothing you can do at that point. Okay? But don't take their money and don't talk to them again. Okay? That's just rude, it's unethical, and it's just no way to do business. There's people that have done that to me in the past that I will never talk to again or never join a program with them again because of that. That's how reputations get burned. Okay? And again, this was all about branding. So if you brand yourself out there as somebody who doesn't give a damn, you might as well quit and go get a job, because there's people out there that will never work with you again. Okay? That's what's going to happen. So don't burn your own bridge. Make sure that when you do start your branding, you're consistent and consecutive with everything that you do day in and day out. With IBK, it takes, I don't know, how long does it take to run the software, you guys? Tell me. To think up a topic and to put it all in and run it, how long does it take?
2 minutes?
Yeah, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I have to add new pictures and do what you did in Paint, Carl.
There you go. Okay, so I don't know. Does everybody have 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes a day? You know, for me to do everything that I do, I go in and I run my poster. I go into other social medias that I can't run my poster in, and I do my posts in there. And I do them manually. Why? Because I have to. Okay? I'll run a solo ad. Okay? I use a thing called Herculist. Everybody knows I use Herculist. And I use it every single day. And I get sales from it every single day. Okay? Because I'm consistent. I'm not sales every single day, but I get contacts every day from there. But I get sales all the time out of Herculist. Tons. I have people that actually phone me because I leave my phone number, my Skype, everything in every post that I do in my solo ad post so that anybody can get a hold of me any possible way they can. I have them adding me on Facebook, on Skype, phoning me at home because all my stuff is there. If you're scared of that, you should probably not be in business. Okay? Because I don't care what anybody says, you got to talk to people. If someone tells you don't have to talk to people in business, here's what I want you to think about right now. If nobody talked to you when you joined the business, would you actually pay? And if you did, and nobody talked to you, how long would you be there? I have people that tell me that they will never leave my side because I'm constantly on the phone with them all the time. I may not have a huge following, but I have a dedicated one. And that's bigger and better than anything that's out there. Okay? Because when Stephen has an issue or when Joanne has an issue, they phone me and I pick up the phone every single time. And if I'm not here, I text them back and I ask them what their issue was. Okay? So, you know, that's the type of person you need to be. You need to be, I don't like to use the word the boss, but you need to be the leader. Okay? You know, when you're at work and you have an issue and you can't figure out something, what do? You go to your boss and you ask your boss, how do you do this? Right? Am I right? Okay. So it's the same thing with network marketing. If you get involved with something, you need to go ask somebody. Now, you know, I'm not going to knock company owners, okay? Because a lot of times company owners, there may be one or two, and they're doing their own support. Okay, because maybe they're not making enough money now to go and outsource it. So what happens is it takes sometimes days to get a response back. Sometimes you get overlooked and they miss you and it doesn't happen. This is why the responsibility of you as a marketer, you come in, you learn your business, you learn how to market it from whatever mentors you get in with, and believe me, please folks, find a mentor. Don't just join a business under somebody you don't know. If they can't mentor you, you need to make sure you got connection to somebody who can. Because if not, I'm telling you right now, whatever money you spend, you're going to lose. Because if you don't know how to market now, and you join under somebody who doesn't know how to market, you know where you're left. Okay? And this is why there's so much failure in our industry. Because we have too many people, it's the blind leading the blind. Okay? Nobody knows what anybody's doing. Nobody knows how to do anything. And then they go and they hope and they pray. I had one person here that goes, well, I haven't got any spillover yet. You don't get spillover in IBK. There's no such thing as that. You know, I even have in my travel program, we have a simple 2x2. That's 2 people who refer 2 people. That's 6 people. I'm not getting any spill. The most spill you'll ever get anyways is 2. That's the most. You can't get any more than that. Because once there's 6 people in there, poof, it's closed. And you're starting a new one. That's the most you could ever get. So, come on, folks. You know, don't rely on these stupid things like spillover. Spillover is going to make you broke. It's going to make you mad. It's going to make you start crying scam. It's going to make a mess of you. And again, when you do that kind of stuff, Guess what happens when you start writing that kind of crap on the internet? Where does it end up? Any of you guys know? I can tell you.
But the people who cry scam, it's either going to end up on some scam reporting website or in the groups.
No, it comes back to you. It'll come back to your social media.
That's it.
Okay? It will come back to your social media. Because what happens is when somebody gets upset in a program and they start yelling that they've been scammed or all this kind of stuff, okay? Stop using that term, for crying out loud, for one, okay? Very few companies actually scam you of your money. Very, very few, okay? Here's what happens. When people say they got scammed out of their money, they joined a program, they didn't know what the hell to do, and they didn't make any money. So they got scammed, right? That's what happens. If you don't know what you're doing and you can't make any money, it's not, you didn't get scammed, because the compensation plan is there to make you money if you do what you're supposed to do. But if you don't know what you're supposed to do and you can't refer anybody to a business, whose fault is that? Is that the company's fault? It's not. And I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, but everything is kind of related to this branding. Because when you start going out there and you start writing crap on the internet and everything, it's going to come back to you. Because you write a bad post about somebody. Let's say you go to a scam site, like scam.com or something like that, one of those joke scam sites. Okay, you go there and you write something on there. Okay? And it's there. And then let's say, Joanne, you go and you write a really bad thing about a company because you had a really bad experience. You call them a scam and pieces of crap of the world and everything else, it's all there. Right? And now you want to come and join my business. And you come to me, you know, Carl, I'd really like to go and work with you and everything. So what does Carl do? Carl goes to Google and Carl types in Joanne Brownlee. And what happens? Oh, Joanne was at scam.com. Why was she there? She goes, oh, she said to everybody that this company was a piece of crap because she put money in and never made any money. Do I want to work with Joanne? Nope. Thanks, Joanne. Have a nice day. I wish you the best of success in whatever business you want to trash next. See ya. Have a nice day. Right? I won't touch it. So that's how serious it is online. Every footprint, every fingerprint that you do in anything online can be sourced by anybody typing in your name. Okay? Now, the fastest way to find anything on anybody on the internet, do you guys know how to search Google or any of the search engines to do that? Joanne?
How I've done it in the past is I just go to Google and I just type in the person's name and I just see what comes up.
Okay, that won't get everything. You want to get everything? You put their names in quotes. Quote, put their name, quote. Type that in there, and everything that they posted on site is going to come up for pages and pages and pages. So if there's somebody who joins a program and bitches and complains about everything that's going on there, you do that, you're going to have a whole list of them. And the moment I see any of that, I don't care who they are never joining my business. I want nothing to do with them. Okay? And that's how you get blacklisted online. Okay? So if anybody's listening to this or anybody understands what's going on here, this is how serious it is with everything that you do online. Anytime you make a comment or anything like that, and I've done it. There's some sites out there where I've gone and I've just gone ballistic on people because they just completely pissed me off. And then I have people come back saying, you know, Carl, I would have loved to work with you, but I found this site with this thing that was on there, and you know what? I just don't know if I can do it. And I can't erase that. It's there. Okay? And that was one mistake I made, and that was about 9 years ago. And it's still there. Okay? So there's going to be stuff out there. There's stuff that people write about me out there. Nothing you can do about it. Okay? The worst thing you can do is go in and try and defend yourself, because all you do is fuel the fire at that point. And that's what I did with this one particular thing that got me in trouble. So what I've been doing for the last 9 years is being the right type of business person. Posting only the positive stuff I need to have out there. That's why Joanne knows this and Stephen knows this. I don't deal with anybody who's got nothing but a negative attitude. I'm sorry. I shove them to the wayside. When you learn to take your negative energy and turn it into positive energy, that's when I'm going to work with you. Okay? Because what happens is you take that energy into the group, and then the group has that energy. Okay? So if you bring negative energy in there, that's why I don't like getting involved in a lot of Facebook group conversations. I don't like getting into any of that stuff. Even in Skype rooms, I have a zero tolerance for anybody that talks negative. I give them one warning. After that, they're gone, and they don't come back in. They're done. Okay? Zero tolerance for it. So, because it's all about branding, I need to make sure that I do not harm myself or my brand online. So, let's go over to you guys. I know I've talked this whole thing here, but I needed to get this information out, okay, before I forgot about it. So let's get some feedback from you guys. Stephen?
Well, I know it's very important to brand yourself. I know I started getting more likes after I started putting my picture up more and being more sociable on Facebook, posting other things besides IBK. Started getting a lot more likes on my personal stuff just because I branded myself now.
Yep, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to find that you're going to become more popular when you start doing videos and you start throwing videos out there. I mean, look at the fish one. How many likes and shares are you getting on your fish pictures?
Whole bunch.
Exactly, you see?
Whole bunch.
And that's the cool thing, because those are like cool pictures. Now, that particular picture, I would have that on your branding page. You know, you have that there, like, for instance, let me bring up this one picture I made here today. So I'm just going to bring, I need to show you guys this. I did this today, okay? You guys have seen this picture before. But I just did a good morning post with it.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna share it with everybody here because, you know, this is what you should be doing with yours. So let me just back here, share this. Okay, you see, here's a picture that I did. I was fishing last year, right? Caught myself a nice walleye there, right? So I have this here with the good morning and then some of my proof here. You know, sometimes I will mix everything together, personal and work, right? And this is where I've kind of combined both of them. And you should have your picture of you holding that bass up there, because that's a cool bass. I love that bass. I can hardly wait to go down there and fish with you, right? So that's going to happen sometime next year. So
I got it all set up too.
Awesome. So we're going to be down there catching bass. I might even bring my brother.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you know, but you know, you start taking some of that stuff. I mean, Joanne, you know, you got some family pictures there, you know. Get a nice picture of the family, put it there, and then, you know, you can mix some business or IBK so people know who you are. Brand yourself with your family, okay, with that kind of stuff. You know, people will resonate with that, okay, you know, more so than if you're just strictly business all the time. So that's why a lot of time I kind of put my own things. Like you see that one picture I post there with IBK, and I got Rena and I in the picture, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I have that. You know, I'm going to get a lot more pictures of Rena and I and stuff like that doing that. I got it in the office here. I want to start doing it outdoors and at the lake and stuff like that. I don't do enough of those pictures. I take them and I forget to upload them and stuff, right? So you see me do the odd picture from the lake when I'm fishing. I'll upload some pictures or a video or whatever, right? But you know, the point is that I want all of you to start engaging a little bit more brand-wise, and make sure your sites are like that, and make sure if you've got anything on there that could literally change somebody's mind, get it off. Okay? Because sometimes, like, let's just say, satiric humor, religious humor, political humor, or just plain raunchy humor. Okay, man, you know, it is kind of funny to say that, but there's a lot of people who use raunch humor out there, and that stuff can offend people. So you got to be very careful on how you do things. Like, you know what? I had this one post that came across. I thought it was kind of funny, but some people might get offended by it. Okay. So let me just share my my screen one more time. I want to go over this and just show you. See if I can find that. I'm going to see if I can find that picture first. Come on. Okay, I got to go to my timeline and see. I still don't know Facebook that well. I don't know how to go and search things really quick, but I'm going to see if I can find this picture. You'll see me stop at it in a second, so just bear with me while I flip through these. It came through just before the Hangout. Wow, I got lots of stuff on my timeline. See, like a bag of idiots to open. See, I mean, who left? The bag of idiots open, right? You see, I mean, that's funny humor, but sometimes people could be offended to that, right? So you know, just be very careful on what you share. That's all I'm asking. Like, I got to show you this one picture. I thought it was great. As a fisherman, I'd actually buy the shirt with this, right? But others might think, well, that's not nice. I should have saved that picture or shared it. Just give me a sec. I'll find it. It's coming.
Is that the one with the two gals?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, and I definitely won't share Sam. That's for sure.
That's who I meant, Sam.
Yeah, no, it's not Sam. Don't want to share that one. That would really piss a lot of people off. You know, although you and I thought it was funny, it's just, you know, some people just wouldn't find it funny. Like my wife goes, "Oh, you really had to share that, didn't you?" Right? You see, so things like that can you know, can be family. Definitely. If, oh, I like that shirt. I'm gonna buy that shirt. Okay, just bear with me. I think I'm almost there. And if I'm not, then I'm going to give up here pretty quick. But okay, it looks like I'm not going to find it. Anyways, what it was, it's a picture of two hands holding a fish. And it says something like, I needed two hands to hold it. Right? That's what it said. Right? So people may take that in a totally different manner. Right? Just because of the way it was said. Right? Look at this. That's nuts.
Wow.
So, you know, it's all a matter of you know, where your mind is, I guess. Some people's minds can go straight into the gutter. Some people's won't, right? And when they share stuff, they think of things differently. And you know, just when you're branding yourself, just make sure, because you know, you could offend people that are very religious out there, and they could be the best people you could work with, but because you shared some content on your site, they won't work with you. Like, for instance, okay, a few years ago I was in a company called Empower Network. Probably a lot of you have heard of that, okay? And one of the main terminologies they used in their advertising was badass, okay? We're badass, right? A lot of people got offended to that. And people wouldn't join me in that business because they used that all the time. And whenever they had their events every 3 months, they'd come out and say, "We're badass" on stage and stuff like that, and everybody starts roaring and stuff. And you know, people got offended with that, and they quit the company after that. Okay, because maybe they were highly religious or whatever it might be, and didn't like the content or the way it was used to sell their product, right? You know, they don't do that anymore, I don't think. But you know, there's a phase like that, and you get some people that do the other things. They'll do hangouts and they'll do that kind of stuff. I mean, look at me. I will slip out those words occasionally on here. I'm a roughneck. I apologize if some of my terminology comes out wrongfully. You know, I do apologize. I hope I don't offend anybody, but sometimes it comes out. I try to control it as best I can, right? Like what I just said there, bad, you know. But Joanne, I didn't even give you a chance to respond. You got anything you want to add to this?
Well, everything that Carl and Stephen said, you know, it's how to set up your profile. I totally agree with that. And of course, you know, be careful. One thing I just want to say, to get more friends and followers, to kind of get your name out there, is also to, you know, I go through my feed. set a certain time if you're if you have other things you want to get done. Just set a time limit, like 15 minutes or whatever, and just go through the feed, just like, comment, and share at other people's posts. And you know, the same thing too there too, where when you leave a comment, you know, just don't put something, again, like if it, don't make like a negative comment, or you could give somebody advice or encouragement, or, you know, especially if somebody's asking for help about something, just, you know, just answer them and try to help them as best you can.
Well, that's actually very good that you brought that up, because I've had this happen to my posts, and I've seen it on other posts where people will go, you know, my business is way better than that. We do this, that. You know, you don't do that on people's posts. Okay? The other thing you don't do is you don't go and do your advertising on somebody's post. That's unethical, it's immoral, and it's very, very rude. Okay? If you do that. And anybody that does that on any of my posts, or anybody that's in my team or in the program I'm in, I actually delete them from my friends list. I don't even give them a chance. They're gone. Okay? Because if they're going to do it once, they're going to do it again. Don't want anything to do with them. Okay? So, you know, if you want to build a huge following and a huge base, comment and like and share other people's stuff in a very positive manner. Okay? You know, whether you're in their business or not or whatever, if you think it's a great business, then let them know it's a great business. If you don't think it's a great business, shut your mouth and don't say anything. Okay? Don't put anything negative out there, because it's going to come back and it's going to bite you. And especially if you want to come and join me in business, I'm going to check your profile. That's the first thing I do. I check everybody's profile. You know, my travel business would be absolutely booming right now if I accepted everybody who wanted to be into it. But I turn down people, even in IBK. I turn down people all the time. I say, you know what? The attitude that you have right now, I don't think I want you in my business, because I think you're going to be more of a burden to me than anything else. So I tell them to keep their money. They get mad at me and they leave. But I'm not going to work with somebody who has nothing but a negative attitude. I'm done with that kind of stuff. And see, that's why some people have a hard time making any money online. It's because they can't get over it. You know, being an entrepreneur is something that you have to have the right mindset for. You've got to literally be able to take the criticism that people give you, no matter how bad it is, and turn it into a positive. If not, your career as an entrepreneur is going to be over very, very quick, because you're going to find that nobody's going to want to work with you. Okay? Because your negative energy will draw them down. I don't allow any negative energy to draw me down. Both these two on here on the panel know that, and they come to me with negative, and they know I don't talk to them. Joanne and I actually had that happen, where she came to me and she was a little bit negative, and I told her that, you know what, you got to get positive. Tom Sampson, another one, Tom Marguccio, he comes to me, and I told him, actually, right here on the panel, I did that on one of the Hangouts. Stephen, I think you were on that day. Were you on too? Both of you? Okay. And you know what? I let him have it. You know, because I just don't put up with it. Tom and I are good friends. We've been friends for 10 years. He gets it. You know, after that Hangout, we were on the phone for, I don't know, 2 hours. Okay? Where I went through a full mind cleanse with the guy. Right? Because I just, you can't do that, because as soon as somebody gets in your head and the negative starts happening, you will not make money anymore. I'm telling you. You will find it so hard to make money, doesn't matter what you do, because your thought pattern is writing the wrong things online. You're saying the wrong things, you're writing the wrong things, and people just, they read that and they go, whoa, I don't know what's happened to this person, but I don't think I want to have anything to do with him now until he figures his life out, or her life out, right? So you don't want to bring dirty laundry or anything from anywhere in the past. You know what? If you lose money in a program because for whatever reason it didn't work for you, chalk it up to experience. Walk away, forget about it, and move on. You know? I mean, to bitch about it and complain over and over and over again, people are going to listen to you and they're going to go, I don't want anything to do with you. Because you come into mine, you're probably going to do the same thing here. I'm not bringing you in here. Go find somebody else to do that too. Okay? That's just how I am. And everybody on my team knows that. Okay? And look, these guys are still here. And they have been for months. And they still put up with me. Right? So I'm just transparent, guys. I keep it real. I don't do any smoke and mirror stuff with nobody. I don't believe in it. And you shouldn't either. And you will build massive, powerful teams in whatever you do if you just keep it that way. So branding, I'm telling you, is going to be the most important thing you ever do in your business. And I just hope that whatever I shared with you today resonates with you, or at least will resonate with you, and you'll understand just what it is. Because there's lots of people out there that will go out there and try and recruit you into business, but once they find out who you actually are, if you're that negative, they're going to have second thoughts with you, and they may just drop you like a ball or a rock or whatever you want to call it, right? So, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up?
No, the only thing I can say is, you're only as good as your word, and if you say you're going to do something, you do it.
Absolutely.
But you do have to stay positive.
You got to, because nothing happens if you don't.
Well, where does the negativity get you? Nowhere.
It doesn't, and this goes in your personal life too, not just your business life, but your personal life. If you're in a slump right now, and all you're complaining about is how you don't have money and you don't do this and don't have this, and until you change that around into positive energy, it's going to continue on in that spiral downward motion. Okay.
Exactly.
I've shared with people how they can actually create money on demand in anything without actually having to buy anything, using places like JVZoo and stuff like that. If you need money, it can be made going there. Okay? It's just a matter of you taking the time, taking your positive energy or negative energy and turning it into positive energy, and turns everything around. So, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. So, you want to add anything else you want to add to this before we shut her down?
I guess the last thing I just want to say, if you're with social media and branding, if you're just really upset about something, don't post it online.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Simple as that. When I'm upset, I know I go for a walk, or I take the kids to the park, or like exercise. I find that's a totally great stress reliever. Like go walk, go for a bike ride, a swim, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and that's
you
what
have something to say, type it out, but just never post it.
Just don't post it. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, I see that every day from people that I've been connected to, and I've even private messaged them and said, are you sure you really want to be posting this stuff? And then when they yell back at me, I go, okay, that's it, and then done.
Right.
No, I don't need to be friends or associated with anybody that's like that. That mindset is poisonous online, and if they ever get into a group and they start doing that, that's even worse, because now they're spreading the poison.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why you guys are in my Skype groups. You know how I have zero tolerance. The moment somebody does that, I punt them. They're done, and they don't come back. Right? Same thing with Facebook groups. I sit there and I see my team in there, and if I see my team writing anything negative in any of the groups that I'm in, they get one warning from me, and then I tell them, you know what, I'm done with you. Okay? You're going to be doing that and spreading that. I don't want that associated with me. Okay? Because people associate me with you because you're a friend of mine. And that's just how I do business. I can't afford it. I can't afford for my reputation to get hurt because somebody else was stupid online. And I'm sorry, I have to use that word stupid because that's what it is. It's absolutely stupid to go out and post stuff like that that's online there, because it will affect you and anybody else associated with you. Okay? Because remember, when you post something on your timeline, guess who sees it? All your friends. If you have 5,000 friends, you just wrote on your timeline and maybe pissed off 5,000 people. Is that what you really want to do? You post in a group that has 25,000 people, you just pissed off all 25,000 in that group. You think they're going to work with you anymore? Doubt it. Doesn't matter how much you post in there. They're not going to work with you. Okay? So turn the negative energy to positive, and only post positive, and that's it. That's all I got to say, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with me today. Thanks everyone who was coming in to view from offline or who will view this. Hopefully what I had to say didn't piss you off. Gave you a little bit of encouragement to turn yourself around, go from negative to positive, and move forward. So that said, we'll see you all back next week here, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thanks.
Thanks, Carl. Goodbye, Joanne.
Bye.